Listen closely, because the insight I am about to share with you marks the dividing line between those who build substantial wealth and those who remain financially stagnant for their entire lives. I am Kevin O'Leary, known to many as Mr. Wonderful, and throughout my career, I have generated hundreds of millions of dollars. I have invested in more than 50 companies on Shark Tank, built businesses from the ground up, and sold them for massive profits. But the distinction between myself and the person who constantly struggles with a lack of funds is not based on luck, nor is it based on connections. It comes down to a specific action I take every single time money enters my bank account. Every payday, every deposit, every single dollar that flows in is subject to a system I have developed. And that system has generated wealth beyond what the average person can imagine. Before we proceed any further, I need you to take a specific action right now. Hit that subscribe button. Smash it, because the financial insight I am delivering today is worth thousands of dollars if you diligently apply it. If you are serious about constructing wealth, you need to be a part of this community. Join as a member and support this channel so we can continue to deliver the financial education that the school system failed to teach you. Do it right now. I will wait. Good. Now, let's dive into the details. It truly frustrates me to see individuals earning decent salaries, $50,000, $60,000, or even $80,000 a year, yet they are completely broke. They are living paycheck to paycheck. They have zero savings, and they are drowning in debt. They look at me and ask, "Kevin, how do I get ahead? How do I build wealth?" I give them the honest truth, the difficult reality that nobody wants to hear. You are not poor because your income is too low. You are poor because you do not know how to manage the money you already have. You receive that paycheck, and what is your immediate reaction? You spend it, all of it. You pay your rent, you buy groceries, you dine out, you purchase clothes you do not need, and you pay for streaming services you barely watch. By the end of the month, you are left wondering where all your capital went. I'm going to share something that completely transformed my life when I was young and broke. When I was just starting out, I had no money and was barely scraping by. However, I made a decision that every wealthy individual I know has made at some stage. I decided that I was going to pay myself first. I prioritized myself over the landlord, the credit card companies, and the government. Every single time money came in, the absolute first step I took was to sequester a portion of it and put it away. I made myself the priority. That single decision, that specific shift in mindset, is what initiated my journey toward wealth. You are likely thinking, "Kevin, that is easy for you to say. You have millions, while I am barely making ends meet." I hear you. But here is the reality. It does not matter if you are earning $30,000 a year or $300,000 a year. The principle remains exactly the same. You must pay yourself first. You must treat your future self like a creditor who deserves to be paid before anyone else. If you fail to do this, I promise you that you will spend every single dollar that hits your account. It is simply human nature. Money burns a hole in your pocket. You see the balance in your account and think, "I can afford this," or "I can afford that." And before you realize it, the money is gone. So here is the actionable step I want you to take. Starting with your very next paycheck, the moment that money hits your account, I want you to take 10% of it and move it elsewhere. Transfer it to a savings account or an investment account, somewhere you cannot easily access. 10%. That is it. If you are earning $3,000 a month, that is $300. If you are earning $5,000 a month, that is $500. You take that capital and make it disappear before you even consider spending anything on expenses. I know the objection you are raising in your mind. "Kevin, I can't afford to save 10%. I have bills, expenses, and life costs money." My response is simple. You cannot afford not to. If you do not start this practice right now, you are going to wake up 10 years or 20 years from now and have absolutely nothing to show for your work. Here is the reality. When you pay yourself first, something magical occurs. You figure it out. You make it work. You find a way to survive on the remaining 90%. You cut back on trivial things, you stop wasting money on garbage, and you become intentional with every dollar. Over time, you won't even miss that 10%, because it was never part of your spending allowance to begin with. This is how wealthy people think. They do not wait until the end of the month to see if there is anything left to save, because there is never anything left. They take their cut first, and then they live on the remainder. Now let's discuss what happens to that 10% you are saving, because this is where the process becomes exciting. This is where you begin to build real wealth. You are not saving this money just to let it sit in a bank account earning zero interest. No, you are saving it so you can invest it. You are saving it to put it to work and multiply it. This is the distinction between being comfortable and being wealthy. Comfortable people save money. Wealthy people invest money. If you want to multiply your income by 10, you must become an investor. Let me explain the nature of money. Money is a tool. It is a worker. Like any worker, if you do not put it to work, it is useless. If you simply let your money sit there, it does nothing for you. But if you invest it into assets that grow over time, that money begins working for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It earns money while you sleep, while you are at your job, and while you are on vacation. That is the power of investing, and that is how you build lasting wealth. So, every payday, you take that 10% and funnel it into investments. Perhaps it is stocks, index funds, real estate, or starting a side business. The point is that you are not consuming that capital, you are deploying it. You are turning it into an asset that will generate more revenue for you in the future. Here is the beautiful part. When you do this consistently, month after month and year after year, the numbers become incredibly interesting. Let's assume you are making $50,000 a year and you save 10%. That is $5,000 a year. If you invest that money and achieve an average return of 8% per year, in 10 years, you will have over $75,000. In 20 years, that grows to over $247,000. In 30 years, it exceeds $611,000. That is the result of just saving 10% and allowing it to compound. This is what I mean when I say you can 10x your income. You are not just living on your salary, you are building a parallel income stream through your investments. Over time, that investment income can dwarf what you earn from your job. I know individuals who started with nothing and built 7-figure portfolios simply by being disciplined and consistent. They did not win the lottery or inherit millions. They just did the boring work of saving and investing every single payday without fail. However, here is where most people fail. They start strong, save for a few months, open an investment account, and buy a few stocks. Then life happens. The car breaks down, they want a vacation, or they see a sale, and they dip into their investment account. They break the system. Once you break the system, it becomes easy to keep breaking it until you are no longer investing at all. This is why you must treat this money as if it does not exist. Automate it if necessary. Set up automatic transfers so the money moves before you even see it. Remove the temptation and the possibility of failure. I have seen this pattern thousands of times. People tell me, "Kevin, I tried to save and invest, but it didn't work." When I dig deeper, I find they never truly committed. They were dabbling, saving only when convenient. That is not how this works. You must be ruthless and disciplined. It must be non-negotiable. Every payday, no matter what, you pay yourself first. No excuses, no exceptions. I want to address a common concern. Many watching this are thinking, "But Kevin, I have debt. I have credit cards and student loans. Shouldn't I pay those off before investing? This is a great question, and the answer depends on the interest rate. If you have high-interest debt, like credit cards charging 18% or 20%, then yes, you need to attack that debt aggressively. But you can do both. Perhaps instead of saving 10%, you save 5% and put the other 5% toward debt. The key is to build the habit of paying yourself first. Once that debt is gone, you can immediately switch to saving the full 10% or more, accelerating your wealth building. Whatever you do, do not wait until all debt is paid to start investing, or you will miss years of compound growth, time you can never get back. Time is your most valuable asset in investing. The earlier you start, the more your money compounds. So start now, even if it is just $50 a month. Just start. Now, let's discuss where you should put this money, because people often get paralyzed here. They do not know what to invest in, so they do nothing, leaving money in a savings account earning nothing, which is a tragedy. I will make this very simple. If you are just starting out and know nothing about investing, open an account with a low-cost brokerage like Fidelity, Vanguard, or Charles Schwab. Then, buy index funds. Specifically, buy a total market index fund or an S&P 500 index fund. That is it. You do not need to pick individual stocks or time the market. You buy the index and hold it forever. This works because when you buy an index fund, you are purchasing a small piece of hundreds or thousands of companies at once. You are diversified, spreading your risk. Historically, the stock market returns about 10% per year on average over the long term. Some years, it is up 30%. Others, it is down 20%. But over 20, 30, or 40 years, it averages out to about 10%. That 10%, when compounded, is life-changing. It is not sexy or exciting, and you won't get rich quick, but you will get rich. You will build wealth safely and in a proven way accessible to anyone. As you become more sophisticated and wealthy, you can diversify into real estate, bonds, or dividend-paying stocks. But when starting out, keep it simple with index funds as your foundation. You must understand that the stock market is not a casino or gambling. When you invest, you become a part owner of real businesses. Companies that make products, provide services, and earn profits. Over time, those companies grow, and your stake becomes more valuable. That is why the market goes up long-term. It is business and capitalism. I know some of you worry about market crashes. Let me address this head-on. Yes, the market will crash. It always does. But every single time it has crashed, it has come back. Not only has it recovered, but it has also gone on to reach new all-time highs. The people who lost money were those who panicked and sold. The people who made money stayed invested or bought more when prices were low. You need to think long-term. If you need the money next month, keep it in savings. But if you are investing for 10, 20, or 30 years from now, short-term crashes are just noise and temporary dips in a long-term upward trend. When the market crashes, you should be excited because everything is on sale. Wealthy people see opportunity where others see disaster. Another critically important factor is minimizing fees. Fees are a silent killer of wealth. If you pay a financial advisor 1% or 2% a year, you are giving away a huge chunk of your lifetime returns, costing you hundreds of thousands of dollars. You are better off managing your own money with low-cost index funds, where fees are 0.03% or 0.05%. Here is the math. If you invest $10,000, growing at 8% for 30 years, paying 2% in fees leaves you with about $43,000. But paying only 0.05% in fees allows that same investment to grow to about $94,000. That is more than double, over $50,000 lost to fees. Be ruthless about keeping costs low so your money stays in your account, compounding and growing. We must also discuss lifestyle inflation, one of the biggest traps preventing wealth. You get a raise or promotion, start making more money, and immediately upgrade your lifestyle. You get a nicer apartment, a better car, and eat at expensive restaurants. Before you know it, you are spending all your increased income. You are making more but not getting ahead. You are on a hamster wheel. I see this constantly. People think earning more means they should spend more, but that is backward. When you make more, you should save more. If your income rises by $5,000 a year, instead of spending it, invest the entire increase while maintaining your previous lifestyle. Over time, that decision is worth hundreds of thousands. I know a man who went from earning $40,000 to $120,000 over 15 years. Every raise he got, he increased his savings rate, continuing to live like he made $40,000. By his mid-40s, he had over $1 million invested and was financially independent, all by avoiding lifestyle inflation. This trap catches high earners, like doctors making $300,000 or lawyers making $400,000, who are broke because they spend everything on expensive houses and cars. Income is what you earn. Wealth is what you keep. To build real wealth, keep as much income as possible and put it to work. Now, let's talk about something uncomfortable, but necessary. Cutting waste. I am talking about the little subscriptions, purchases, and expenses that add up to thousands annually without you realizing it. The streaming service you ignore, the unused gym membership, the daily coffees, the impulse buys, each steals from your future. Do this exercise. Go through your bank and credit card statements for the last 3 months. Add up every transaction for things that didn't improve your life, impulse buys and boredom spending. You will be shocked. For most, it is hundreds a month, thousands a year. Invested over a lifetime, that is a fortune. This isn't about being cheap or depriving yourself. It is about being intentional. Spend on what matters, like concerts or travel if you love them, but stop spending on things you don't care about just for convenience. Every spending decision is a choice between your future and instant gratification. Wealthy people choose their future every time. Building wealth is not about one big score or hitting it big with one deal. It is about making smart decisions consistently over a long period. It is boring, repetitive, and unglamorous, but it works. People who get rich quick usually go broke quick. Those who stay rich build wealth slowly and methodically. Most millionaires didn't inherit money or win the lottery. They saved and invested consistently over decades, lived below their means, avoided debt, and bought appreciating assets. They were patient. The secret is patience and delaying gratification. Saying no to what you want today to have what you need tomorrow. Once you have automated savings, cut waste, and avoided lifestyle inflation, the next level is increasing your income. You can only cut so many expenses, but income potential is unlimited. Combining a high savings rate with high income creates explosive wealth growth. To increase income, first, get better at what you do. Develop skills to become an expert and command higher pay. Second, start a side business. Monetize a hobby or skill, starting small and growing it. Third, invest in yourself. Take courses, read books, hire coaches, level up your knowledge. I have done all of these. Every dollar spent on my education returned to me many times over. Investing in yourself is the best investment because it increases your earning power, making everything else easier. For example, if you make $50,000 and save 10%, that is $5,000 invested annually. If you develop a skill that raises your income to $70,000, you can save an extra $2,000 a year. That extra $2,000 invested annually over 30 years at 8% is worth over $244,000, $250,000 from one income increase. That is why skill development is crucial. It sets you up for exponential growth. Every skill, business, and connection compounds like investments, making you incredibly valuable and giving you financial freedom. Let's talk about the end game. Financial freedom. This is when investment income exceeds living expenses, and you no longer need a job to pay bills. You work because you want to, not because you have to. You have complete control. Imagine starting at 30, saving and investing 10%, avoiding lifestyle inflation, and increasing income. By 50, you could have over $1 million. At a 5% return, that generates $50,000 a year in passive income. That is financial independence. You achieved it by being disciplined for 20 years. Once you hit that point, your money keeps growing because you don't spend all the investment income. You reinvest it. You go from financially independent to wealthy, then to rich. This is the power of compound interest, starting early and staying consistent. I want to be clear. This is not easy. If it were, everyone would do it. Most will watch this, nod, and do nothing, returning to old habits and spending every dollar. In 10 years, they will be in the exact same position. Don't be that person. Decide right now to change. Every day you wait is a day of lost compound growth. Time is the most powerful force in wealth building. If you are 25, you have a massive advantage. If you are 35, 45, or 55, it is not too late. The best time to start was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now. Here is what you must do immediately. Open your banking app and set up an automatic transfer of 10% of your paycheck to a separate account the moment it arrives. Automate it. Open a brokerage account if you haven't, and set up automatic investments into a low-cost index fund. Set it and forget it. Don't check it daily or panic when the market drops. Then, find 3 wasteful expenses, subscriptions or habits, and cut them. Add that money to your savings. You have just accelerated your path to wealth. It requires action. For those thinking, I want to enjoy life, not be miserable and broke just to be rich when I'm old. I get it, but you are missing the point. This isn't deprivation. It is being smart so you can have the life you want forever. Wealth buys freedom, options, and peace of mind. Security and freedom bring real happiness, not buying stuff to impress people you dislike. When you are financially free, you wake up without an alarm, skip the commute to a job you hate, and avoid unappreciative bosses. You spend time on passion projects, travel, or family. That freedom is worth more than any luxury car. That is the life available to you if you make the right choices every payday. When you reach financial independence, you will be grateful you started and had the discipline to stick with it. So here is my final challenge. Commit to this. Commit to paying yourself first, investing consistently, avoiding lifestyle inflation, and building wealth. Write it down, tell someone, and make it real. Every payday for the rest of your life, follow the system. No excuses, no exceptions. Pay yourself first, invest, and let compound interest work. Do this, and I guarantee your life will be completely different in 10 years. You will be wealthier, more secure, and have more freedom. If you found this valuable and are serious about building wealth, smash that like button right now. Hit subscribe, but don't just subscribe. Become a member of this channel. By becoming a member, you support the creation of this content, invest in your financial education, and join a community working toward the same goal. Leave a comment below and tell me, Are you ready to commit to paying yourself first every single payday? I want to hear from you. And if you know someone who needs this message, share this video with them. Help them understand that building wealth is possible for anyone willing to follow the system. This is Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, and I will see you in the next one.